but it also isn't necessarily like super straightforward for everybody.
Yeah,
Just
true.
because like the concepts are kind of like liquidity mining in itself is like, oh, you're getting incentivized to participate in a liquidity pool. That's already like kind of high concept. So being able to like put that into like, oh, here's how to do it and how to like source this stuff in like a few minutes. Hopefully that helped a few people who were maybe like wanting to participate but felt a little bit out of the loop. And like, I don't know, it was nice to do that kind of stuff. I feel like I'm gonna try to do some more things along those lines that are a little bit more like a little more deep cut that people maybe won't find quick tutorials on, because I feel like a lot of the information is available if you research for way too long. But I'd like to make it available for somebody who just wants to spend 10 minutes.
Yes, and you know, I think that's a big mistake we make a lot of times. We think that everybody has been not only on NFTs but also on DeFi and crypto for a long time, and there's people who has never interacted with DeFi. So this liquidity mining and staking and so on is not really straightforward. It's not a concept they really get immediately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is like, especially when you're in crypto, you think of something like yield farming is, you know, everybody knows yield farming. You know, oh, yield farming, yeah, it's like when you participate in a AMA like or AMM like market making pool.
Yeah.
But then if you talk about like the actual strategy that is yield farming with like a legitimate investor in like traditional finance, yield farming is a real strategy. It's a strategy that like the top 0.1% of the most sophisticated like investors will pursue. So then you talk to people here in crypto again, you're like, oh yeah, yield farming, and expect people to understand this like absurdly complicated, like insanely high level concept. And it's just like, yeah, this is commonplace. Everybody does yield farming. And yeah, I really like that. You know, it makes these insanely complex like things very approachable, but it, like you said, it is easy to fall into that pitfall of like, oh yeah, this is an approachable thing because everybody does it. But then you're not like thinking about the people who just found out about NFTs and gaming through gaming, and don't have any financial idea and don't even know what the word yield means, you know, when it comes to
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I love that. Like, not only is that becoming more of a thing now in the Wax blockchain, like this DeFi kind of like these concepts are becoming approachable and accessible through like apps that I actually want to use, like NeftyBlocks platform, but also like it makes the accessibility, like the access to those concepts available to people through assets that they're familiar with. Like, you know, you're able to introduce somebody to like somebody might not want to participate in yield farming if it's like, okay, well, you need to source like, you know, Ethereum and another cryptocurrency, and it's just like, I'm already out, like so it's like, oh well, we can do it with NeftyBlocks, where it's like, oh, you don't need to source whatever. No, it's like, oh, you already buy NFTs, yeah, well, you use Wax to do that, you understand those things. For buying NFTs, you're getting a Nefty token kickback, and if you'd like, you can take that Nefty token and participate in like the distribution of more Nefty tokens to this, and it makes it so much more approachable to people who maybe have no interest in like high finance. And I really like that. Like, that's so cool. Thank you for doing that for Wax.
Also, the new stuff they added, like, I mean, people were complaining. They're like, hey, I stake a ton of Nefty, but I'm not using the marketplace. So like, what utility do I get out of this? So like adding the just staking Nefty straight and then getting a share of the marketplace just for holding Nefty, like I think that was a great move, because there were a lot of people that are like, I want to support Nefty, but like I don't just necessarily use the marketplace enough for my stakes to be worth it. And that really, like, for me, was like a game changer.
Yeah, that's all those things is just like, yeah, it's progress and all of it in the right direction, which is refreshing as well. Like, I definitely see a lot of projects that making progress, but a lot of that progress, I'm like, oh, I don't know if we should be going that way. But then you see NeftyBlocks doing stuff.
And you know, the funny thing is that I think that liquidity, regarding liquidity providers, you know where that came from?
I don't. I was actually going to ask. So yes, where does
it? Didn't you suggest that, Max?
Yes, because you suggested that.
Oh yes. Okay. Oh yeah. That was like day one. I was like, I want.
Yes, early on, you were like, okay, it's good to have the Nefty rewards, but I'm providing liquidity. I'm not being rewarded. And I thought, like, True. That's very stupid. Why didn't we thought about that since the beginning? We should be rewarding people that provide liquidity, because it makes absolute sense. If we want the token to be successful, there has to be liquidity. If there's no
It's
liquidity,
important. Yeah. The vision of the
exactly.
Nefty project requires deep liquidity. That was I remember writing that whole thing.
Yes.
I was like, I love this vision, but it can't be realized without a depth of liquidity, and I'm not going to supply it out of charity. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Awesome.
that's what triggered it. And then I said, okay, we have trading rewards, but great. If we only give liquidity rewards and trading rewards, what are you going to do? Take your Nefty and sell it immediately.
Yeah.
But if you can stake it and get some fees from the secondary market, then that changes the game.
Yeah, definitely. That's like a legitimate utility use case. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that is so cool. And yeah, I love that. Like the fact that not only like, yeah, I mean, I message a lot of creators about like ideas and stuff, but like not everybody listens. And I love the fact that like, even right from the start, you were like, yes, that is a good point, and we're working on something. And I was like, great, I'll just keep supplying liquidity then. And like I said I said when we were offline, I used to own like 10% of that liquidity pool. And since you incentivize the liquidity, I'm down to like 3%. Like it works. People are more than doubled that pool now. Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
It more than double, just as you said, it's
Yeah.
more than double. And now the part that we really want to make work is the part of giving wax rewards. We need more people trading on NeftyBlocks, and because that will really be a game changer. Just imagine that right now we have a 2% share of the secondary market. And in the first 3 days of rewards, we shared more than 3,000 wax. But think about it. That's only 2% of the market share. If we reach, for example, 50%, you're saying multiply those rewards by 25.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
you get 7,500 wax in 3 days. Like
so
you'd
if
be
we
looking
really
at like 2,000, 20,000 wax a day.
exactly, we really can convince people to come and trade on NeftyBlocks instead of using other marketplaces. Rewards could be sick.
Yeah, I agree. And then the avenue to get that realized is now becoming more and more clear too, because it's like not only is there an incentive to trade on NeftyBlocks, but with that incentive, I can participate in the distribution of the wax tokens and the liquidity mining, and on top of all that, like the kind of like the infrastructure, the like economy that you're building around those Nefty tokens now, building value for those tokens will continue to build incentive, because the more valuable the Nefty tokens are, the more valuable the incentive kickbacks become. The more like incentivized your people are to use the marketplace more, the more valuable the reward kickbacks become, the more valuable the Nefty token becomes. The more valuable the Nefty token becomes, the more people want to use the marketplace, the more valuable the rewards become. Yeah.
That's the idea. And we introduced an extra factor. I don't know if you're aware of that one. And is that, for example, if you're a creator and you want to advertise on NeftyBlocks, you have the banners, right?
Yes.
But now the banners can only be paid with Nefty.
And that Nefty gets burned from circulation, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I love that too.
Nefty gets burned. So we are also reducing the supply. So that's the idea with this tokenomics. So at some point, the token should be worth a lot. That's what I expect at some point. And I expect that happens, because for the community, it will be amazing. Just trade and get something back.
Oh yeah, I mean, I literally, like, from trading, I check my claim balance, and then I had enough like Nefty tokens to buy a drop, and like just that on its own is fucking awesome. If you're not participating in staking the Nefty tokens or doing the like liquidity mining or anything else, if it's just I used the platform to buy NFTs, and then like after I bought 10, I got an 11th one for free. It's like a punch card at a coffee shop. And, like,
exactly.
Yeah, and I love that, especially because I mean I love trading NFTs. So now it's like, oh, I'm already doing that, but NeftyBlocks is paying me to do it in a currency that lets me continue to do it more, which is like,
and the thing is, you can use your Nefties, whether it is to buy drops, So that's a main thing. You can go and buy other drops, or you can stake it and get fees from the secondary market. Or if you want, now there's enough liquidity and you can exchange it for WaxP, and great. Let's say for the amounts that you get as rewards, most of the time, you will exchange that for wax without moving the price. So I think that's very nice.
Yeah, definitely. Now with that deeper liquidity pool too, it's becoming more realistic to like use Nefty tokens to buy relatively pricey drops as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna really quickly play. We have an intro for the show that we didn't play, but we're kind of already into it. But
we are.
I made it anyway, so why not? Let's just for fun. We'll like
Sure,
when we read the show, we'll play it before the intro. But welcome to Neon Space, everybody. Marbles in my mouth. That's what the marbles are right now.
Does floor become just ground when you're outside?
Zoom, dude.
All I gotta say about that.
All right. Welcome everybody. My power keeps going out. I don't know if anybody's noticed the lights changing.
I did see that.
Like
I also hear the click from the breaker.
Yeah, if our power goes out for too long, the internet dies, then both Max and I will leave. So I'm worried about that. But
yeah, we got nice battery backups running the computers.
Juan on for joining us.
Thank you for
having we're talking to Juan from NeftyBlocks right now. We were already talking with him before we played the intro a little bit, but yeah, we're both really excited about the changes NeftyBlocks has been making since the last time we talked to Juan. It's like unrecognizable how much they've progressed and made. I really also like the new look of the marketplace. I like one of the things I've heard from people is like, yeah, it looks a lot more like Atomic Hub now, which is like great. That's what people are used to. So
like, yeah, somehow yes.
Yeah,
I don't like to say that, but yeah, maybe it looks more similar. I think that you know this was it was even because there's a lot of new features in the marketplace. There's a lot of development effort there, and you know. When people say, what did you like the most? Dark mode.
Yes.
Come on, man. Yeah, dark mode is cool, but come on, that's not the best.
if you see the tutorial I made for how to use the NeftyBlocks thing, the very first thing I do is like, all right, first thing I do is toggle into dark mode.
Yeah. Yeah, but and you know, in the end, what happened last week, we said, okay, dark mode is now the default because everybody loves dark mode. Why are we going to show the old light mode thing that we had now?
No, yeah, dark mode is always a slam dunk, I think.
Yeah,
that was a good one. There's one like I'm following like a lot of the marketplaces on Wax, and like the one tool that now I feel like is like the new thing on my big thing on my radar lately is NFT Hive recently added a limit buy tool for buying NFTs. Yes. That's fucking cool.
Yes, I think that one is very cool, and you know, when they released it, Jose was really pissed off. Jose is my co-founder, right?
Yeah.
He was really pissed off.
Oh yeah,
because at some point, just after the release of the Nefty token, we had a call with Dan from NFT Hive, and Jose was talking about features that we wanted to introduce in the future, and he mentioned that, and Dan was like, and they were like, when he released it for us, he was like, that was ours.
Yeah,
but yeah, in the end, I think that everybody has tons of ideas. The only thing is prioritizing and implementing them.
Yeah,
and Dan is extremely good developing that, so it's good.
Yeah, that's definitely, I feel like, going to be something that's going to be more commonplace across all the marketplaces in the future as well. That's just like, it helps to level the playing field a little bit against botters, because you can, you know, effectively have your own bot waiting for a strike price.
Yeah, I mean, Picklebot's already out there. Picklebot's already limit ordering on Atomic Hub, so it's just giving other people the opportunity to do what people are already doing.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't stop botters in
like if you can't beat them, join them. Give everybody the opportunity to do.
So creating tools that level the playing field and basically give everybody a pickle bot, that's the way to do it. I love that.
You know, I think that bots are a necessary evil.
Yeah,
If
you
if
can't
you
stop
think
it.
about
If you try to fight it, you're wasting your time.
No, just think about the crypto exchanges. Just think about forex, whatever. You have a lot of bots trading there. You have
Yeah.
you have market maker bots. You have trading bots. You have everything. You need bots to make the ecosystem active to create liquidity.
Oh yeah, imagine how choppy the charts would look if there was no bots at all. It would be like you'd see one trade every few hours.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd look like shit. You'd have a hard time reading any of that. Yeah, no, bots are definitely they definitely like are the backbone of like the second to second activity on any market, because humans can't be that active. But at the same time, bots they do have a distinct advantage over human counterparts, you know. Bots don't sleep. Bots see the information the second it's on there and all that stuff. So they're definitely like people who use bots, especially to like exploit bot curving activity kind of things. Like a lot of games will do like specific limits per account or something that'll like help. So it's like, oh, so that you can't like, but then the reality is like, well, yeah, but a bot farm can get around that. So you're hurting the real player, and the guy who has the bot farm can still exploit all that stuff. And there's really no way to fight that. So then I think creating tools that basically let the human do what the bot does, like this limit order kind of style tool, I think that's more the way to solve the problem than to try to figure out a way to keep bots off your platform. Like you want bots on your platform, but you just don't want the bot to have an edge over the human.
Exactly. You need to balance that. You have to find the right balance, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's really a tricky challenge. Easy to say, but
easy to say. Exactly.
Balance is very difficult to find. But yeah, I'm like really excited with all the changes I'm seeing on NeftyBlocks lately. And I'm curious, is there still a plan to be able to use Nefty token on the marketplace side of things, or is that still going to be limited to the drops exclusively?
Well, the challenge we have with using Nefty token on the marketplace is that the marketplace is atomic market, and
right, it has to
if we wanted to accept different tokens, then we need control over that contract, and that is not going to happen. Right. But still, there are some workarounds that we could do to make that happen. But I think that right now that is not our priority. To be 100% honest, I would love to be able to add it, and also to be able to add all the tokens that we have enabled on the platform to be usable on the marketplace. It would be even amazing to say, okay, man, you have that NFT and I want it, so I will give you this NFT. I will give you 10 Nefty, 10 wax, and 7 upliftium. Great.
Yeah.
And I accept your offer. Get it.
That I see. Yeah, that'd be cool. Do a whole little like portfolio exchange for like I'll give you this batch of tokens plus these NFTs for this thing. That's cool.
Yeah, just like being able to really play with all of what you have. But yeah, for that we will need something very different. But what we will be implementing and should be released really soon is auctions.
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
In our auctions, we will implement many different things. Well, the contract is already 100%. We're only testing it right now. What we need is the UI. But then in our auctions, we can accept several different tokens. You will be able to pay with Nefty and with all the other tokens that are listed on NeftyBlocks.
Hell yeah.
And we will have also, when we introduce it, we will also have Dutch auctions, which is reverse auctions. You start with one price, and if nobody buys at that price, it will go down. If nobody buys, it goes down and goes down until someone says, for this price, I'll buy it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's definitely, I see that on several other like Ethereum marketplaces too. That's kind of a popular option for like trading that I haven't really seen move to Wax. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, so that's something we will introduce really soon.
Those are really intense too, because it's like they have a fixed timer. When the timer goes to 0, it like drops in price, and then the second it drops, like you got to either buy it or like get beat, which is I don't know, it's intense. Dutch auctions are also fun. I don't know.
Yes,
but that's cool. That's awesome. So the auctions, and then the auctions will be like any currency you like. So that's cool.
Yes,
What
you
is
will
like
be
the
able
main
to use.
focus of like new features that you are working on right now? Since you're saying like what's like the next big thing you got in the works? I know there's a game coming too.
Well, yeah,
like, but that's separate from the marketplace.
Yeah, there are many things, because we have one thing are auctions. Well, we have the bulk actions. Bulk actions will be the first thing to be released. That should be released next week, and I expect that in a couple of weeks we will release auctions, and we will also release the Nefty Quest. But the Nefty Quest is not really for additional functionality.
Okay. What is Nefty Quest like in a nutshell? If I have not heard of that,
yes,
other
in a
than I've heard
nutshell,
yes.
Nefty Quest will be a trading competition.
Oh.
The idea is to incentivize secondary market activity. So on top of all the rewards that you can get, your Nefty rewards and all of that, we will be rewarding people. We are creating some leaderboards, and in those leaderboards we will have the top traders, and it will not only be based on volume, but also on number of NFTs purchased. And you have some different amounts of points for number of NFTs and for price of the NFTs that you're buying.
Oh, so it's like a game, but it's game that's gamifying your action on the marketplace platform.
Yes.
Is there like, are these quests kind of thing on like certain time intervals? Like you have like a weekly quest, like buy 10 NFTs in a week?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, we will have, but it's not only that. Look at this. We have first incentivized by number of NFTs that you buy plus price of the NFTs. Additional to that, every Wednesday, we will say, okay, these are the NFTs for this week. Collect them, and this one will give you extra points to go up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And additional to that, we are partnering with other creators and say, for example, this is the Taco Week, this is the Ken Bosak Week, this is the Neon NFT Week, this is so there will be lots of creators with weeks, and in those special weeks, we will give the regular rewards, but the different creators are allowed to give extra rewards when people buy their NFTs.
Yeah, it seems like a great way to lift up smaller projects, give a spotlight to kind of more indie brands, and then people will engage with those NFTs more and get exposed to more projects. I think that's really great for just the broader strokes community of creators.
Yes, and then the top 3 traders will always be rewarded with prices in Nefty, but we have a USD equivalent that we defined, and it's like 1,500 for the first place, 750 for the second place, and 250 for the third place. Plus, according to your number of points on the table, you will be classified. And we have 3 different levels. So the base level will receive a certain amount of rubies, which are some new NFTs that we are creating. The second level will get twice as much as level 1, and the top tier will get twice as much as the second tier. And we are opening something we call the Nefty Shop. And you can go to the Nefty Shop with these NFTs, and basically it's based on the Super Blender. And you will be able to blend these NFTs to get other NFTs. And what will those NFTs be? They will be NFTs from Farmer's World, from Alien World, from all the trending play-to-earn games. We will have NFTs there that you will be able to claim using the Ruby NFTs.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a prize pool, and then you can blend into a random prize from the pool, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not only those NFTs. We will have also something we call the Nefty surprise boxes. And then what you get is a box that you open like a pack, and you will get a random amount of Nefty as a reward. It can be a lot, it can be a little bit, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, that's always fun. The
and
RNG.
Additionally, there's something we have been working on in the last few weeks. And we are releasing a web shop with swag, We will have hoodies, t-shirts, caps, and so on. And we will have NFTs that are redeemable for physical products. And we are starting to contact other creators also to have, for example, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, from NFTs of their collections. And we will have that available for people to be able to buy that on the Nefty shop using these Ruby NFTs.
Oh shit! So the Nefty shop, you basically pay for things with NFTs, and the NFTs represent.
Yes,
really
and
cool.
then
but these are like physical redeemables, like physical apparel.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
And then, for example, we give you an NFT that is the NFT for the T-shirt to say something. Then you go to a page on NeftyBlocks. You give your NFT. You enter your email address. The NFT gets burned, and you receive a code that you can use to go to the shop and redeem the T-shirt or the hoodie or whatever you want.
Oh shit, that's super cool. I think that's another thing that like Wax NFTs has a big like market for that kind of like redeemable physical merchandise, but that isn't really being realized yet. So again, really cool to see people like building that out, and it's actually, you know, becoming realized on Wax.
Yeah, and the idea is that will also be open for staking level 3 collections. At some point, they will be able to create NFTs and be able to redeem. The idea is that they will be able to upload a list of codes, and then you have a shop wherever you want with Shopify or with whatever you want. As long as you can redeem the codes, then people will be able to go to your shop and redeem physical goods.
Nathan asked, how will shipping work? Is shipping included in the price, or do you pay shipping?
Well, in the one what we are using, we will cover everything. We will include shipping. We will include everything.
And is it international? Because I know like some places like Funko makes people pay outside of America, but like only within America. Does the free shipping qualify?
In our case, we will do free shipping all over the world.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because what we did is that we partner with a company that already has all of this in place, and they have the logistics to ship all over the world. They deliver everything, and it's it's all taken care. And of course, it will be sometimes for us it will be very cheap to send, sometimes more expensive, but we think that in the end it will it will balance itself okay. And somehow what we're doing here is promotion. What we want to do here is marketing, and that will come out of our marketing budget.
Yeah, I love that. For creators, that's just another avenue that they didn't know they had that they could use as a tool. So I may have missed it. I'm a little distracted here, but like, is that like kind of merge physical redeemable marketing thing? Is that based on a certain level of Nefty stake to get access to that?
Initially, we will open it only for level 3 stakers.
Yes. That is
okay,
cool.
so it kind of builds value for you guys because it builds value for the token. So even though you're using your marketing budget on it, it adds an extra tool for creators to invest in your token. So it kind of comes full circle.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. You guys just keep pushing the envelope.
Muted, Max.
Oh, Max, sorry. I was just catching Paul. Paul got back from work or from walking.
Hi, Paul.
Okay.
Telling him a quick thing.
What'd you eat today, Paul?
Nothing yet. I just woke up at like noon. Like I showed up late to the
Max
stream.
and I both woke up about 20 minutes before.
I like my pajama pants on.
Oh man, you just neon in every aspect of your life.
Yeah. I mean, these pants are awesome. So, yeah.
Oh man,
man.
Or go ahead.
I was just saying how I'm excited by like just the amount of like progress that between the last time that we talked to Juan and this time that we're talking to him. It's like a completely different like marketplace. It's like the tokenomics are like well more established. The economy for those tokens is way like more robust. I mean, at like twice as much so in the last like week even, you know, just based on liquidity depth. And it's just like, I gotta say, you're doing a lot of things very well. And you know what, one thing that I've been doing a lot lately, when I search on Atomic Hub on collections that have a lot of like animated NFT assets, a lot of the times on Atomic Hub, the page will die and ask me to refresh, and that never happens for me on NeftyBlocks. So I don't know if anyone else, I don't know if anyone else out there has that issue.
It has to do like video playback, because if too many videos play back at once on Atomic Hub and there's too many like spinny coins and stuff, it just crashes the website. But like Nefty's not having an issue at all, which is very nice for our collection, because our stuff is mostly like videos. It's like videos of stuff, so it's pretty easy to crash Atomic Hub.
Yeah, I think Nova Rally is having that problem where like all the spinning cars, like I was trying to like scroll through their stuff on Atomic Hub and it just kept saying like, oh, you got to refresh. And I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm going to NeftyBlocks. You can scroll the same listing. It doesn't fucking.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm curious if other people have that same issue on Atomic Hub too, since I know Lewis does, but yeah, I mean that's just like, it's a lot of collections will have that problem, and then it's at the same time I've been using Atomic Hub for a long time, and see the progress now versus where Atomic Hub was and where it is now. It's like, yeah, I mean you're gaining on them very quickly. like you're definitely making a lot more progress a lot quicker, which is it's exciting to see the momentum like continue now. I'm really stoked for the like, you got the Dutch auctions coming up, then the gamification of the marketplace interaction through Nefty Quest. Like that's innovative and cool, and like I'm excited to see it all.
I recall you saying something back last time we talked to you about like I think you called it like the sorting hat, where you take like cheap NFTs or NFTs that you don't really want anymore, but you can't really find a market or a buyer for them, and so you could put them in the sorting hat since it's hard to sell them.
That's something I wanted to implement, but it's not there in place yet. It was part of the mechanics, and we have had to change a lot of the plans we had.
I wonder if you can build that into the Nefty Quests. Like you could just burn like if you burn 10 NFTs or something, it works into the Nefty Quest. So in that way, it has value.
Yeah, you know that we might do that.
That's a really good
my
idea.
real problem is that I have I have too many ideas like that I share with you at the time, and I have tons of ideas, and then when I go to the development team, we have to prioritize, and it's like, oh, it's so frustrating.
Oh, I mean,
we hire more developers, and still it's not enough to keep the pace that we would like to have. And sometimes we hire more people, and instead of going faster, we go slower because people need to be trained and they need to catch up with how are we doing things, and so yeah. But I really want to implement something like that. We have many things in the workings. I even I even came with the idea of creating interest bearing NFTs. Yield bearing NFTs, and I had all the plan, but yeah, then again it's a lot of time to develop the tools to make it sustainable over time.
Yeah, we're very similar. We have all these lofty ideas, like wouldn't it be super cool if we could do this, and this, and then we go back and be like, I don't think anyone knows how to do that. Nor do we.
Or it's not sustainable for at least a year, and then
and then 6 months later, people like you or people make a smart contract or a tool of like, oh, we can finally do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, as cool as that idea is, I think like what you just added with staking rewards and liquidity pool incentivizing is a little more important than a sorting hat, as far as like, I think you're prioritizing the right things.
True.
It's great.
I mean, what you've added now literally deepens the liquidity pool and adds utility to token holders who before maybe felt like they weren't getting utility.
And you can see there's an appetite for it too. Like DeFi, there weren't a lot of legitimate DeFi options on Wax until the last few months. And now that there are options, there's a very clear appetite for it. People just needed the means to do it. And you are giving them an option to do so.
And this is a very good point, because also DeFi Box came to Wax recently. And unfortunately, we were too advanced in our development using Alcor pools, because and we're still considering moving to DeFi Box, because that way people will be receiving the Nefty rewards plus Box rewards on top of that, and that would be crazy. And we want to make that move, but yeah.
And on DeFi Box, you get your Nefty token liquidity depth in the pool for Nefty Wax will be accessible by every other pair, since DeFi Box will automatically route the traffic for trading for you.
They have a smart router there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you just go right now, if you could try matching 2 different tokens and then click the little more info drop down, it'll show you the route it's taking. So it auto routes. It's way ahead
because, you know, that's something I wanted to build, the auto router, because I said, how come that Alcor does not have a smart router?
Yeah. So they have a smart router, and it's time tested with like $36 million worth of liquidity on the EOS side too, for over 12 months. So it's like I'm very happy with DeFi Box moving into Wax as well.
Man, we're just dropping mad idea bombs right now.
I mean, it would make a big difference to the Nefty token economy, because it would make that liquidity depth available to literally every other token pair as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, which is that's a huge deal. That's like, you know, automated market making is the backbone of DeFi. So
yeah, and you know, the only reason we didn't use the DeFi Box is because we got in contact too late. The development was too advanced, and because otherwise that would have been the clear option for the liquidity pool.
Yeah, definitely. But it's still on like the radar for in the future. Maybe it can migrate.
Yes, and I expect it to be the near future, not the long-term future. But yeah,
that's awesome. I definitely I'm really, like I said, it's so exciting to see all these like legitimate DeFi things moving into Wax now, because like there's also, you know, a lot of people have like DeFi, but it's all part of like their game. Like I would categorize like Our Planet into that, where it's like, you know, Our Planet with their RDAO token and with their meta farming and all that stuff. It's like it's very real DeFi concepts, but it's all to further in-game value and economics, which is fine. It's great for gaming.
But I think it's great. I think it's a good second phase for them. I think it's amazing.
Oh hell, yeah! I think the tokenomics update that they did, like the implementation of it, was very upsetting as a player of Our Planet and someone who actually like participated in playing the game. It feels like all the value they built by putting this token structure together, like building those meta farms, burning the like elements and all that stuff. The value that built, which is very obviously it did build value, and it is like a better system, but the value was directly ripped from early adopters and people who played the game. You devalued pretty much everybody who played the game and then earned those in-game elements. And you know, you get like different rarities. The only way you ever got any of that stuff was if you played the game. And then those elements were the ones that were nerfed the hardest, and like you had a 4-day window to burn them at the higher rate to get the RPH or whatever token.
Yeah,
they made a very complicated.
On this too much. We got a question for Nefty. Nathan asked, when you pay for an NFT drop in Nefty, it used to market sell the Nefty for Wax if the collection wanted it in Wax. I was wondering if it now has enough that you're using the swap instead of market orders. So like if we buy something with Nefty, is that still going through the market, or are you using the swap now since it's incentivized?
When you buy something with Nefty, we are still using the swap.
Oh, so you use a swap. So like if I'm in there like providing liquidity, I'm basically getting part of the fees back.
Yes.
That's always been the case,
correct? On Alcor.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it was always coming.
The reason he thought it was a market order at it. Nathan thought it was a market order. I don't know why.
I was gonna say that's why I participated in the Nefty Wax pool like from the start, was like, oh, because they are driving traffic into that pool. Unlike any other token on Wax, like no matter if nobody wants to fuck with Nefty, well, it's still getting the traffic from the NeftyBlocks marketplace. It's definitely a decent pool as far as like volume.
Yeah, and you know, something that changed is that now when you create a drop as a creator, you no longer get the Nefty rewards, but in exchange, as you are staking Nefty, you get immediately the Wax rewards, because you're staking. If you're level 3, 45,000 Nefty, and you should get a lot of Wax. And if we manage to increase the volume in the market, or when we manage to increase it, then the reward will be way higher than what you were getting in the past.
Oh yeah, that was wild too. 45,000 Wax stake is generating like quite a bit of Wax. You're right, and then it makes it's like an added bonus too as well. Like
yeah, it's easy like passive income for our company basically. Like
yes,
our stake helps us do the pre-minted packs, which is the main value of why we have it. But in the meantime, it's just icing on the cake, really. Which
and then it gives us the ability
our
to
own
do
reward
like,
structures. And
it's like we could use that wax to like incentivize our Nefty or our neon token pool, for example. It gives us
and
like
now that you mentioned that, that's also something we are working on right now, and it's the super blender. The super blender that will come after auctions, but the super blender will be able to take tokens as ingredients and to deliver tokens as results. So that's also something that will change the game when for collectors. That I think that will be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also a way that as a collector or as a collection, even if you don't have a liquidity pool with super deep liquidity, you could then do a super blend for your token that doesn't require a back end going through a pool.
So, exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, you guys are making so much like tools and like these different like functions for what people can do with their NFTs. It like builds value for all of the collections that like have used NeftyBlocks to build their collections. And
I mean, super blending's a huge part of our brand, and that was
super blending.
It's only been around for like 6 months because you guys brought it around, but it also like, it just helped us so much because it gives us engagement and like events. Each weekend we do a blend event, so like gets our community together, and it's definitely like very helpful.
Yeah.
Burst of Energy had a question. I have like a similar question. Maybe we can two-part this. His was, would you blacklist him if he made fun of scam projects? Because like Atomic Hub does that when he has people in his group will like make like a fake graffiti kings called greedy kings, and then like they get blacklisted for it. Second part of that question for me is like, I know you now have a new verification process, so maybe you can let us know how the like level 2 verification works.
Okay, let me tackle those two separately. The first one, it's very easy. We use Atomic Hub blacklist. We just check what's blacklisted there, and we immediately blacklist it.
Oh damn! So
can someone appeal? Like if someone's blacklisted on Atomic Hub, would it be possible for them to appeal on Nefty separately?
Yes, we can. We also have an exception list, and we can say, okay, it was unfairly blacklisted, and we can show it. But I have to be honest, most of the time they are right. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not correct, but yeah, most of the time when they blacklist someone, they are right.
I guess it does. It's a decent like first step. I like that you do accept an appeal though, because I think
no, we accept it, and we can create exceptions. That's okay. And also for verifications, we verify some collections that are not verified on Atomic, and that's also okay. But our verification, it's very different from Atomic's verification. For us, the verifications is basically a KYC. I know with whom we are doing business.
Yeah.
And that's what matters to me. I know this is the creator. We know who he is. Because I think that I don't have the right team nor the right skills to judge your project. I cannot tell you, no, your project is bad for the community. Your project is good for the community. You're ripping off art. You're doing it. I think that is way beyond what we want to do. I am a firm believer that if you are in this space, you are in the crypto space, in the NFT space, in the wild world space here, do your own research. If you're not capable of doing your own research, you will not make it in this world. And of course, we are doing this verification. We do some minimum checks, check that the project has a reasonable website, reasonable presence and followers and groups and so on. But we don't really say your project does not deserve to be here, or your project, because, for example, with games, Atomic Hub requires that you have a certain progress with your game to whitelist you or to verify you. I think that it's a very legit case if you want to finance your development by selling NFTs. Of course, I'm not going to give my money to anyone who's selling NFTs to build a game. I have to do my research and check, is this guy trustworthy? Should I really be investing in this? But because in the end, this is what you're doing. You're investing in their project.
Like kickstarting it, really.
Exactly. So you should be the one who's judging if it's worth spending your money there, yes or no. I cannot tell you that.
That's fair. Yeah, the marketplace is more facilitating the like place where you can interact with people who are asking to be kickstarted, not necessarily the place that's telling you what is worth kickstarting.
Exactly. And in the end, we have these creators' information, and if there's a legal process or whatever, we'll be able to help. But I also realize that it's very difficult, because sometimes the worst con artists, the worst rock pullers, they come and they go away with $5,000. Come on, I'm not even going to hire a lawyer for $5,000. It will be more expensive to hire the lawyer than to prosecute. Than to lose the money.
Yeah, and it's definitely like gaming, especially, I think, is targeted for like scamming, because people like very jump into that. So I do like that that gaming properties have a stricter guidelines for becoming verified. I think that makes sense. But but it's also
sorry, go ahead.
It's also like, to a degree, it is up to the consumer what they want to buy and what they decide to back with their money. It's their money. And it's not the marketplace's role necessarily to to vet everything. But I don't know. I see kind of both sides of it, where it's like,
I think it's a very difficult topic, because it's very difficult to do a proper verification, and I think that's the most challenging part of having a marketplace, because the technical part, you have good engineers, you will sort it. And marketing, you have good marketeers, you will solve it. But this verifications part, it's like,
that's true. And I mean, even like bad actors can make things look very legitimate with money.
They are amazing at making
and again, it's like legit. You said, that's not the job that you're providing. Isn't the auditor here. You're the marketplace, and I feel like there is a kind of a need, maybe in not just wax, but in crypto in general, for like maybe a third party auditing like entity who like signs off on projects and people trust, because they don't have a stake in anything.
And we have thought about that a lot, and I think that, for example, if what you want to do is make a drop to finance a game that is not created yet, maybe there are alternatives. We can say, okay, great, you will be verified and you can sell on our platform, but we will be like an escrow. I will keep the tokens, and you define milestones. Okay, we can release those tokens whenever you deliver. And I think that would be a very fair approach. The creator owns the money, but he will get it against hitting the right milestones.
That's actually a really solid plan for doing something like that. And that's something where the marketplace can act, like step in and actually take action to curb some of that like bad activity, which is nice. Or you could have things like Burst of Energy, somebody in the community who literally vets projects all day every day. He could like be like, create his own verification system where it's these projects are verified by Burst. That would give me some confidence. Think about it, Burst.
And it could be something different. It's not really a verifications, but you can give a grade to the project. Okay, this is an A grade project, so you can invest. Oh, this is a C-. Oh, fuck, maybe I can invest, but I'll invest because it's nice.
Too,
It'll be like Oprah's book list, but Burst.
That's also how real audits are done. Like real audits aren't just like pass fail. Here are some potential risks, and it's like it gives an analysis. It's like, like it looks good, but here are issues that could arise in the future, and like it's more of like a fair analysis than just like it's good or bad. It's like it's good.
It's not a black and white. It's not a black and white system. So, but can you at least give some confidence to build into people's existing research process and vetting process that they will ultimately have to do personally, but at least give them some more information along the way to make that informed decision? I think that's the best of a very complex and gray area.
Yeah, but now imagine that's a lot of work. I think that's not the role of a marketplace. That's a third party who has to do that.
Yeah, it's more of a role of a community. I mean, it's the same thing with auditing. I mean, there's an existing auditing culture in crypto as well that you could just have, you know, the community can decide who these trusted sources are and use that to their advantage however they see fit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all develops into the future. It could become like a thing where there is third-party auditors who sign off on certain things, you know, or, you know, projects can eventually pay for an audit of their stuff, and then the auditing house would publish the things submitted.
I'm surprised it isn't already thing on Ether with all the like profile picture rug pulls. Like
it's like every day.
Yeah.
So I mean, so Ether at least has the way that it works on Ethereum. There is audited smart contracts for profile pictures that are like in a library that people can copy paste and implement as their own thing. So a lot of those contracts are already verified and trusted by the community. It's just some of the like rug pull ones will just get modified before being deployed. And then if you don't verify the shit yourself and you don't go through an audit that did the verification, then you end up on the losing end of a rug pull. But that's something missing in Wax. There's no library of vetted contracts that creators can employ. And that's something I feel like NeftyBlocks kind of does, where it's like, well, there is no vetted like pre-mint smart contract that I can get from an audited like library, but NeftyBlocks offers a pre-minting contract that is used by so many people, and therefore like has that trust, is effectively audited, in my opinion, by you know, trial by what is it, you know,
trial by fire.
Yeah, trial by fire. Like, it's live actually. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's probably not completely perfect, but it runs well enough that all these projects and everything's like in Wax pretty much runs on it. So then,
and you don't have to reinvent the wheel to do the same thing.
Yeah, so you are definitely creating those like tools for people in the environment that exists, you know, on the EOSIO side, where there isn't really an auditing layer to any of this.
I would like to see the Wax Council support more stuff like that too. The Wax Council, I think, is reviewing a proposal from Chain Champs to make a vetted smart contract for profile picture projects on Wax. But, you know, I would like to see the broader strokes of the Wax Council fund trusted sources and trusted players in the community like Nefty, like Chain Champs, like Atomic Hub, to make a standard of these contracts and let some of the funding from the chain itself support this sort of growth and this gold standard of tools that everyone can build off of. So there's less points of failure and points of manipulation, I guess.
Yeah, I think something like that could be very, very good. And I think that more collaboration between the different players could be very good for the ecosystem. Because you know, I have a lot of people contacting me and they say, "Oh, Juan, you know, we're building this and this and this and this." Okay, from the this and this, I see that only this last one that you mentioned is something that we don't already have. Why are you building all of this? Because you don't want to pay the 2% fee. Then you should build this. Use the 4 contracts. Once your concept is validated, then go back and build what you want to optimize your revenue. But if you start by building what I already have, you're only delaying your time to market, and you don't know if your concept is good or not.
Yeah, that's very, very good point. Like, I don't know how anyone would hear that case and still argue against it. That like makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
because the reality is you can use what NeftyBlocks has built to get to market, and once you're at market, you can build your own backend, and then
exactly. Then go and change it. Get your own contracts, but don't spend development time on things that are already there. Once you build your audience, you prove that your concept is viable, then start getting us out of the equation, and it's fair.
Yeah.
Perfect. Do it because you will optimize your income. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot too, especially because there's, projects like so many different projects doing kind of similar things, but with their own version of smart contracts, where it's like, oh, they wrote this smart contract from scratch to do a blend, which is like, well, yeah,
exactly.
which is, yeah.
Here's a question for you. So from the collector's side, as far as using Nefty, because collectors have Nefty stake too, and you can earn Nefty, and you can buy drops in Nefty. Is there a future where you can buy aftermarket sales in Nefty? Because that is not the case right now, currently, right?
Yeah, we discussed this earlier, but it's very
my bad.
no problem. But the thing is that we don't own the marketplace contract, so we cannot really modify that easily, and we can make some workarounds to make that happen. But it's it might not work as good as it should.
Interesting. So, it would be kind of fun with levels of collector tools, just like creators tools. You're a level 2 collector, you get like a limit order.
That's something that Jose has been trying to do, and I think we might implement it. Is that we add some things for the collectors, like limit orders or some other things that really help them get better NFTs and so on. But those ones, they will have to kind of pay a certain amount of Nefty to unlock them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
And then so instead of a stake level, you just pay to unlock it.
Yeah, I think what we want to do is just pay to unlock it. And more, we want to move to the to the modality where you unlock whatever thing you pay with Nefty, that Nefty will not be for us, that Nefty will be burned.
I like that. Yeah, so that's a good sync case.
The idea. Yeah.
So you end up with.
So would it be like you pay for it for like a certain threat, like you pay for limit orders for 24 hours, or do you pay for like a permanent unlock of a tool?
I think it should be permanent, but I don't know. We are still playing with the ideas, but I think that it will be permanent.
I love spitballing ideas with you, though.
You don't want to jump into the tech sector side of things where everything's a subscription.
Yes, cord cutting has failed. It's just become a different way to spend a lot of money.
It's a subscription model. Everyone wants a subscription for everything.
Yeah.
Someone previously had a question about super blends. They were saying on like super blends side of the blend side of the tab, you can filter by like if I own one of the ingredients or if I own all of the ingredients. And they're wondering like, is that going to ever come over to the super blends tab? Because if like a collection has a ton of super blends, it's hard to find which one is the right one.
We are already working on that. That will be released very, 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 very soon. We have spent the last 2 or 3 weeks optimizing queries because there are collections that have literally thousands of super blends, and we had a query that needed like 17 seconds to run. Now we optimized it to 600 milliseconds, and we are in the final testing to release that. And also the first step with that, what will happen is that you will no longer see as a collector, you will only see blends, and both the super blends and the blends will be there together.
Thank you. Yes, that's a great way. Because again, as a collector, you maybe don't even understand that there's different ones. So like to just show them all at once.
So yes, excellent. And they will be shown together. Step 2 is we will remove the regular blends because the super blender can also create regular blends. So we will move to using only one contract. We will always show both because there might be people who has all the blends created. They will always be there. But from that point on, only the super blender will be in use, and the part that creates simple blends will be free for everyone, and only the more advanced configurations will be a part of the staking levels.
Oh
yeah, I like that. Selfishly for us, real quick, is if you could make folders for super blends, that would make our life super easy.
It has been asked, and we are planning to do that also. You know what really was hindering our progress is the marketplace. I hate to say it. We spent so much time working on the marketplace because it's not it's not built on top of the old platform. It's a complete rebuild of the marketplace. So we build that from scratch, using different frameworks, different everything. So I was like, we've been working on this for 4 months and we haven't released, and that was not allowing us to do anything else.
That was totally our complaint too. Like behind the scenes, we were like, when we talk about NeftyBlocks stuff, is like, oh yeah, their marketplace, yeah, they're doing this and this, and it's just like, yeah, but they're so good at like making creator tools, and they're just like, they should just really focus on that. Like, I mean, I can use Atomic Hub for a marketplace, but I can't do any of the creator shit there. So like, why don't they just keep doing this? So
well,
I love what you're saying now that you're like, oh, I wasn't able to work on it, but that's
I hated that because we were not able to make some progress, and that's why the marketplace is not complete, and it was supposed to have more features when we released. But there was one day that we said we are going to release on Monday, yes or yes. I don't care if it's not complete. No, but we still. I don't care. Just release it.
Yes.
Because now we can start working iteratively and we can start adding a functionality incrementally.
Yeah. I remember the day it launched, it was definitely like bare bones, but like that's also what makes it so exciting to see how far it's come from there versus if it just launched in its current state, where it's like, I really appreciate how much has happened since it launched.
The marketplace has to be good for the reward system to work. Like this rewards launch doesn't do anything if people aren't using the marketplace. You get nothing for staking wax. So like the marketplace has to, like, I understand why you worked in like the order of operations makes sense to me now.
It makes so much sense.
But now I'm like, okay, well now like my rewards for staking Nefty are dependent on the marketplace being functional. So like polishing that is very important. So like it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lou, you were gonna do a question earlier.
A question?
It's just BMac was saying the ability to add text to market sales would be cool. It's just a suggestion, and I was thinking the same thing because like I don't have like our planet land, but some of it's been uplifted to uplift, and sometimes that's just not clear through the immutable attributes and stuff. So like an eBay listing where you could be like, "Hey, this is my uplift land. Like I built a house on this, and it has these minerals."
Okay.
Explain what, or like give some context.
For my battle miners, like construction thing, I can be like, "This thing kicks your mining into overdrive, baby."
I don't know, just like letting people market.
Our planet land is a good example too of like it's hard to sort through the marketplace through attributes of our planet land that has been uplifted and ones that have not, or ones that have been leveled up,
upgraded. Yeah, because you could level it up to like level 116. People might not notice that, and if you don't like write it plainly, it's like this is more expensive because it's much better, and you don't see that necessarily.
Also trading NFTs is like a social thing to begin with, so being able to add like little messages
or like bundling too, like bundling stuff like, okay, this bundle will get you, this is a starter pack bundle for say Nova Rally,
everything you need to get started in the game, and like a quick guide on the item.
And
a lot of NFTs have like backstory that like isn't clear to like someone who sees the listing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I don't know if we can do without owning the contract once again. So.
I see.
Yeah.
On Atomic Hub. So we should go ask Atomic Hub to add that feature, and then they can add to Nefty.
Yeah, and then it can be added to everywhere.
No, but I think that's something that should not happen. I think that's exactly what I think, that the NFT standard on Wax and the marketplace contract should be a DAO. Should not be something owned by one party. That should be something that all the participants on the marketplace, maybe we will have to stake some coin and vote. Okay, guys, these are the features that can go. These ones no. These are improvements, and even have like bounties. Okay, we have a bounty to develop this. Who of the marketplaces wants to develop it? I think that will be way healthier, and we would be delivering much more value to the collectors and the creators.
That's a really good idea. Damn, yeah, because that way all the marketplaces would be working together as a DAO versus working against each other to try to like fight each other for market share.
Exactly, and then we can work on a front end features. We can work on front end to make different things, but the contract can move forward and benefit the whole community.
Yeah. Damn, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
We're running an hour here, so I kind of wanted to start wrapping up. I'm going to do marble races after. Juan, you don't need to hang out for our giveaways, but do you have any like closing words you want to let people know about anything super recent coming up, or do you think we covered it?
Oh, yeah. So, well, the only thing I want to say is first, thank you guys for having me here. And then two, ask the community, come on, you want more rewards? Move your listings to NeftyBlocks, make that times 25 happen, and start earning a lot of WAXP.
Then buy some drops with your Nefty rewards.
The more you move your listings, the more wax it generates for your staked Nefty.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point.
Yeah.
Also gets you more Nefty to stake.
Yeah, and it gets you more Nefty, and then you stake it, and you get more wax for the Nefty that you're earning from moving your listings. It's a pretty sweet system. I'm really excited to see it like play out. I'm also curious to see if a new token standard like for NFTs will ever emerge like that on wax, because eventually somebody could write a new token standard and do a migration like they did from simple assets over to atomic assets, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, the token standard is the EOS.io token. So that's everybody's using that one, not only on Wax, but also on EOS, on Proton, on on all the EOS.io blockchains.
Oh, that's the same standard that's keeping it from being a DAO?
Well, no, but I will come to your show later talking about that DAO thing, because something's happening there also.
I was gonna say, it seems like a possibility to like migrate the token standard, but I'm not sure. It's not my I'm not.
Yeah, that one I don't see it migrating, but you never know. It might also it can also happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, we always enjoy having you on, Juan. We always fangirl out whenever you're here, because like NeftyBlocks is just it has created the foundation for the tools that make Neon Space what it is. So we're so grateful for what you guys provide to creators, because it really has given us so many options and tools and abilities to elevate our own artwork and collection and community. And so it's really cool to constantly be seeing what you're coming out with and see how that can.
NeftyBlocks is like 100% the way that we were able to gamify collecting our artwork. Like,
cool.
Yeah, amazing.
And like do our own drops. Like for the longest time, I was blowing up your DMs like, hey man, like when can we do pre-minted packs through your site? We need to do pre-minted packs. Like we're willing to pay you, but we can't afford to keep paying Atomic up. And like just every step from there has been more and more utility for our collection. So I'm so happy that we've decided to be a level 3 staking collection and user services.
I think we became level 3 staking on like day 1 that the token launched, and it's just been staked the whole time.
Oh man, I got a bunch of whale NFTs.
Burst of Energy, I think, invited you on his show through our chat. I don't know if you have contact with him, but he streams for Ultra Rare, and he's a wax streamer, and he's interested in having you on his show as well. So
cool. Just ask him to ping me on Discord, and I'll be glad to join him.
Dope.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so he's definitely playing matchmaker right now.
Cool.
He's definitely a good person to talk to. Sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Man.
I'm gonna get into some Marvel.
Guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Juan.